Rock and roll. Welcome to class 2 of Science of Mind 103. Developing a healing consciousness at Center for Spiritual Living, Asheville. It is March 11th, 2019. And I'm glad that everybody's in the room. I'm glad that you were watching online. The sound is much better this week. And yes, we know. So, we always begin with a spiritual mind treatment, but this is a more workshop type of class. So I'm going to ask you, who is really good at step 1?
I'll do step 1.
Come on up, Carrie. Who's really good at step 2? Come on up, Pegatha. Stand in line. Over there, you're step 1. Who's really good on step 3? Affirmation, realization, knowing the truth.
Okay.
Come on up, Breezy. Who's really good with their gratitude? Step 4. Step 4. Come on up, Hella. Who's really good at step 5? Letting it go. Come on up, Susan. Now, before we do the treatment, we need to know. Oh, I'm backwards. Carrie, come over here. Before we start the treatment, we always find out what the purpose of the treatment is, right?
Yes.
So these people are going to do a spiritual mind treatment to open up the class for you. So, what would you like treatment for?
Clarity.
Clarity?
Exactly. Clarity.
Clarity? That's it, clarity. Okay. This is a learning experience.
What am I?
So, Breezy, you are going to know clarity for the entire class. Now, tonight we've moved into treating for others. So these are the others. We remember from last week that step 1 is going to be all about who?
Oneness.
It's going to be all about Carrie. I. Step 2 is going to be all about Pegatha. I. Step 3 is going to be all about
The class.
the class. It's going to be all about them. You never use the word you, though. It's not a conversation. It's I know for and about this amazing Science of Mind 103 class. Or I know for and about the people in this room, however you want to language it. And then step 4, Hella, is all about no. I.
See, I missed last week.
That's all right. I. And step 5 is all about I let it go.
Yeah.
So, it's because you're going to be practicing this tonight. I, them, I. Okay, so everybody take a deep breath and we're going to let them do the treatment.
Moving into truth, God is, I am. It is a divine light, divine essence, universal heart-mind that is present within all of life, ever ready, willing, and able to work through me, as me, is me.
The one that is all that is the power, that is the source, created everything, which means it created me, and it created everything and everyone else. And what did it create it out of? The only thing that was available, itself. So I am one with this creative force, this spirit, this energy, this presence. And I have the same creative ability to create my life in any way that I choose. And I use this to live in joy and to recognize the joy and the spirit and the truth in everyone and everything else. For this is who I am. I am one with the Creator.
And I know we all have clarity in everything that goes on in this class, whether it's the people in the room or out in the world. And we're all clear about everything that we hear and learn tonight.
And I am so grateful for this gratitude. I feel such deep, deep gratitude for this clarity that is bubbling up inside in each of every one of us. It is like clarity being revealed, like the sun coming out from behind the clouds.
is so, it is good. With faith and confidence, I know it is very good. It is manifest, it is here, it is now. And knowing that this is so, I now release these words to the law of the universe. And we all say,
And so it is. Congratulations. Yay. So how was that for you, you five? Fun, good. Liked it. What did you say, Helen?
I wish I'd been a little prepared,
You
but.
don't necessarily get to be prepared for this. Life kind of springs it on you at times, and it's good to know that you can go into your knowledge base and know the truth, do your treatment work. You've been taking classes how long?
2 years.
2 years, yeah, you're prepared.
But she says, you're prepared. I don't feel prepared.
Yeah, I understand that there are times I don't feel prepared. You get to do it anyway, and it works.
I find that once you get started, that it just begins to flow and you get there. And so, you don't need to be prepared, you just need to be willing to start and do it.
Right. Get willing to start and do it, and you'll figure it out along the way. Did you write a treatment out? Did you fill out your form to write a treatment out?
Because I had the wrong book, I didn't.
I wrote one on the computer, but I have to bring it with me.
Oh, you're right. So did you get your 3 goals that you want to treat for over the next 7 weeks? Good. What kind of goals did you come up with?
That was for next week too. I thought all this was for next week.
What's your homework? It says a homework for assignment
It's
for,
an assignment for class 2.
yeah, so
Read, write, and
you're supposed to have all of that done before class 2 starts.
For class 2.
so there was just no reading, but we were supposed to do everything else.
No, you have reading.
No, March 4th, no reading.
Well, this is the 11th,
Yeah.
so that's your homework for 11th.
Before the 11th.
Yeah, before the
Okay.
assignments for the
Okay.
class are to be done before the class starts.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm clear now.
good.
I hope I get clarity.
You have clarity, you were just treated for clarity, and now don't you feel clear?
I do now?
There you go, that's all that counts. What types of things did you come up with that you are focusing on creating over the course of this class? Jack?
A deeper understanding of treatment.
Wonderful, deeper understanding of treatment. Breezy?
To have good progress working on the apartment upstairs,
Great, you have an apartment upstairs.
as well as the house in Dubai.
Great, good progress on your apartment upstairs. Who else? Hella, Pegatha?
Finding a perfect new home.
Wonderful. Pegatha?
Clarity and all of this stuff where I live it and breathe it and,
Clarity. For me, my highest value is clarity.
yes.
I have a lot of values, but I find that if I am clear, everything falls into place. Who else? Anybody else want to share? David?
I had deepened a consistent healing consciousness and awareness of the unity of all in spirit.
Wonderful. Deep and consistent human consciousness of the unity of everything. I'm paraphrasing now. Good. So we're going to incorporate those ideas in your treatment work. And tonight, because we're starting into treating for others, when you are asking for treatment, ask for a treatment for one of your goals, so that we can start setting spiritual law in motion for having that demonstrate in your life. This is what we do. We create our lives, and we do it methodically, scientifically, and wonderfully in Science of Mind by using spiritual mind treatment. Okay? David Mark, I'm going to invite you up to talk about the presents you brought. You brought presents for class. Come up here. Those of you watching online, you can find these at spirituallivingarchives.org. I believe so. Go ahead, David.
Barbara had mentioned the Creative Thought magazine, which no longer exists.
Bring them on over into the camera.
And I have a collection of creative thought magazines that go back maybe 25 or 30 years. And you're welcome to use them and look at them and take them. And it's really very interesting to compare some of the earlier years as things have progressed up to the point where it no longer is.
Where they're now philosophical essays instead of spiritual mind treatments. Okay, I'm just gonna pull one out at random. Creative thought for each day, August 1976. Earl Barney. Decision moves me into richer living. I know I can depend upon the fact that when I have made a definite and clear-cut decision, something starts to change on the invisible side of life. I rejoice that every instant provides me with a possibility to begin a new life, a new adventure. I see evidence everywhere of an infinite life force expressing itself in changing forms, with everything reproducing itself after its kind. Realizing that thoughts too manifest according to their kind, I now choose to relinquish all negative thought patterns. I choose to accept Spirit's promise, behold, I make all things new. I accept a new consciousness of perfect health, for I know I am God's divine self individualized. I accept a greater prosperity, for it is stated, all that I have is thine. I know I am worthy of the greatest good that could possibly come through me. A new and thrilling experience is unfolding right now because of my decision to think in new and larger concepts. I now choose to be grateful for the fullness of life, and I let it be so. That's wonderful. So these have a treatment for every day. My body knows only health. I am the power. They're all by somebody else. My decisions are unmistakable. Wonderful. Thank you, David Mark, for the presents. Yay! Hi, Robin. Okay, so in your reading for class 2, you've got some, it's all about treating for others. So you've got some charts on page 18 and 19 about what I do in each stage, what I say in each stage. But before we get into treating for others, one of the things that I think is very important is that we learn how to have an effective conversation with someone else. So that if someone comes to me and says, please treat for me for such and such, like Debbie asked me that, and I said, maybe I will. You know, I don't usually do those things on the fly because there's real value in being able to have a conversation with someone about what it is they want treatment work for. So, when we talk to someone, they may come up and say, oh, treat me for a brand new Mercedes-Benz. Treat me for that Mercedes-Benz. I want it. I want it to be red, and I want it to be a coupe, and I want it to be, you know, this and that. I want to have leather interior and all the bells and whistles. So I'll start a conversation about, because I am not a vending machine that you put in a request and out pops a spiritual mind treatment. This is all about, for me, raising consciousness, developing awareness, and then demonstrating whatever it is that is going to be wonderful in somebody's life. So rather than try to cram the creative power of the universe into a box that says brand new red Mercedes-Benz coupe with leather interior and all the bells and whistles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start asking some basic questions. As soon as I find my eraser. So my first question is, what do you want? And then they say a Mercedes. Now, there's nothing wrong with treating for the Mercedes, except that I believe it's limiting. And so what I'm going to do is say, what is it about the Mercedes that turns you on? What is it that you love about this idea of the Mercedes? And they're going to say that it goes fast, I get the wind in my hair. And then I'm gonna say, what is it about going fast and having that feeling of flying down the road? What does that speak to you about? What is that? And they're gonna say, I just feel so free. Okay, I'm gonna go with freedom. Why do you think I'm gonna go with freedom?
Because it's larger than a Mercedes.
Because it's bigger than a car. Yes, Dan. Freedom is bigger than a car. And I don't want to sell me or you short by simply demonstrating a car. Although it's a lovely car. I've had one myself, although it wasn't red, it was blue. So then I'm going to say, what else is it about this idea of the Mercedes? And they're going to say, oh, I feel just really wealthy. Yeah, it's expensive.
I feel valuable.
Valuable. So then I'm going to say, what is it about feeling wealthy and valuable driving an expensive car? What does that really speak to you about? And they would say that I could afford anything. Well, what is that? That is prosperity. So I'm going to go with prosperity.
How about freedom?
We already have freedom. So I'm going to let go of the fast wind in the hair and the wealthy, expensive, and valuable car, and I'm going to let go of whether it's a Mercedes. It might be something else. It might be an airplane that somebody demonstrates. It might be a sailboat. It might be a different kind of a car. All they can see right now is this particular Mercedes. It might be the red Mercedes with the leather interior. It might be exactly what they want. I was treating for David Washington a while ago, and he demonstrated the car he wanted to the letter. Now, I was demonstrating freedom and ease of, I was treating for freedom and ease of transportation, and that this made him feel wonderful, and he had his list of exactly what he wanted, and he got that. So it doesn't negate the list, but it doesn't limit to the list. Robin.
Another big one would be that a person might want to feel successful.
Right,
Yeah.
successful. Mm-hmm.
Like it means, it tells the world that they have accomplished something.
Right, they're driving something expensive, it makes them feel wealthy, all of that was on there, and we got it down to prosperity. That's my word. The person wanting the car may have a different word. But for me, I find it much more expansive to go for what this thing will give you instead of just the thing. Have you ever been in more than one relationship?
At the same time?
Well, I've been there. You know, when people go from one relationship to the other, they often find that they have the same relationship that they had before. So someone will be saying, please treat that this person likes me and loves me and goes out with me. I'll never do any of that. But what they get out of that is, instead of thinking now everything's going to be great, they're going to feel valuable and loved and fulfilled and all of that, they get the same old relationship that they had before. And so what I would do is I would treat that they are loved, that they are lovable, that they feel good about themselves, that they're confident and strong and self-assured, they know their value. I would treat for all of those things and let the relationship show up or not in whatever form it may be, or not, as it will, in alignment with that consciousness, because that's where we want to go. We want to go to that consciousness. Does that make sense? Great. Who wants to be my first volunteer? Okay, Peggy. You're waving your hand at me. Okay, we're gonna bring 2 chairs up here. Am I in the camera? So come, Pegatha. I understand that you have a treatment request.
Yes,
What is it that you want?
I'm looking for clarity in knowing who I am each and every single day.
Okay, now she's already jumped.
All right, so we do a different one?
Sure, sure.
I am looking for health. My body is not cooperating in that respect right now, and I am determined to be able to overcome these things through my
Overcome
spiritual.
what things?
Problems with kidneys.
Okay, so let's start with the kidneys. So you've got issues with your kidneys that you would like a spiritual mind treatment for.
Yes.
And how is your life going to be when your kidneys reflect the health and wholeness that they are?
That I can do whatever I choose, eat whatever I choose, without having to worry about consequences.
Okay, so do what I want, eat what I want. Now we're narrowing it down. See, we don't want to treat, we can include the kidneys, but we don't want to limit it to the kidneys. So picture yourself eating what you want to eat and doing what you want to do with just wonderful feelings, no fear, no concern, no worry. What does that give you?
Satisfaction of life, joy.
Satisfaction of life and joy. So I'm gonna end it here because I think joy is the key. We're starting off with a kidney and ending up in joy. Woo-hoo! Now I'm not gonna abandon all this other stuff because this is good stuff. To be able to eat what you want to eat, to have the freedom to do what you want to do, to have satisfaction with life, to live in joy. Those are all excellent. So I'm going to treat her kidneys that she does what she wants to do, she eats what she wants to eat, she has great satisfaction in her life, and she is filled overflowing with joy. That's gonna be my treatment. And so I'm gonna say, okay, Peggy, can I hold your hands? Can I touch you?
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't just grab people. Some people will freak out. And I always hold your hands. I don't put my big heavy hands in you to carry me. I always hold your hands. And I begin by knowing step one, the presence and the power of the one is all that there is. That infinite life and love is satisfaction, it is joy, it is freedom, it is expressing itself in and through all creation. And I know that that is what I am right now. I am the satisfaction of the divine, living life fully. I am joy. I am freedom. And I speak my word for and about Pegatha McKeon. And I know for her that her kidneys are God's kidneys, and as such they are perfect, whole, and complete in every way. Every cell in those kidneys has intelligence and wisdom and knows exactly what to do to be their perfect and right manifestation of health as kidney, as Pegatha. I know that every cell has everything that it needs and easily releases anything that is no longer required and joins together with all of the other kidney cells to manifest in joy and satisfaction, in freedom and delight, all of the health and wholeness of Pegatha's kidneys now. And I know for Pegatha, that I move on, I know for Pegatha that she gets to do what she wants to do in this life. She gets to eat what she wants, and eating what she wants is all about God, consuming God as God. Every bite of food is a match for her body. She digests it easily. She releases it easily, and it nourishes her body and fills her heart and soul. I know that she experiences great satisfaction in this life of hers. And I know that she is immersed in, filled with, and lives in that joy. This is the truth of Pegatha now. And now I am grateful for Pegatha's healthy kidneys, for the way that they filter her blood and they operate optimally. Every doctor knows it, every test shows it. These are perfectly healthy kidneys. I am grateful that Pegatha gets to do what she wants and gets to eat what she wants. I'm grateful for all of the satisfaction that she has in life. And I am grateful for joy. Joy as Pegatha, joy as kidneys, joy as Pegatha's life. And now I release this treatment. I release the knowing that Pegatha's kidneys are healthy and whole, that she is doing what she wants, that she is eating what she wants, that she is so satisfied with her life, and that she is in such joy. I release all of that into the infiniteness of spirit, into the body, mind, and heart of spirit, knowing that it is done now, and so it is.
And so it is.
And then I say, Pegatha, did that work for you?
Oh my gosh.
Did I cover
yes,
everything you want?
did. And
Then I offer a hug. So that's what you're gonna do. You're going to talk to somebody, and you're going to fine tune the treatment from just some random thing, please treat that this contract closes tomorrow. Well, wait a minute, the contract closing tomorrow might be the worst thing that ever happened to you. I don't say that, but I've seen enough people go by to know that that's a possibility, and that you grasping at outside circumstances to try to make yourself feel safe and happy and whole is not always the best cause to the best effect. So we're going to explore it. Well, what does the contract mean to you? What's going on with that contract? Well, if the contract closes, then I'm gonna go to war-torn wherever and do whatever that may not be exactly what they really want to do. Or then I'll finally get enough money so I can leave that dirty, rotten rack and fratchet, and I won't have to put up with all of the stuff that I've been putting up with. Well, let's explore that avenue of what's going on with your sense of self-worth and your sense of willingness to be loved and your safety in the world. Do you see that? Does anybody want to come up here and try it out? Oh, come on. Who wants to come up here?
Are you saying to do a treatment?
No, well, yeah, to do a crosstalk so we can look at you. Come on, Dan. Who's gonna come up here with Dan?
I don't want me to be the total person who does it.
Okay, Hella and Dan, come on up. The more you see how this works, the easier it is. Find out which one of you is going to be, Robin.
I just had a quick comment. I was trying to treat for something at one time, and I talked with a practitioner about how I was thinking about it, and it came up that I kept thinking I had to keep treating like all through the night, like not stop, like, and it was because I wasn't doing the release part.
Right.
You know, so if you get to where you're feeling like, oh my God, I gotta pray, you gotta do the release part.
Right, and that's what the great thing about faith is, and being able to practice this, so you can say, well, wait a minute, I just did that 2 weeks ago and it worked out. I don't have to freak out about it, I can sleep, it's gonna be okay. If you start to build that sense that when you do spiritual mind treatment, things happen. How many people in the room have had a demonstration from spiritual mind treatment? Yes, look around the room, keep your hands up. Look around the room. These are, when you do this stuff, things happen. It's just a wonderful thing. So which one of you is going to be the person receiving treatment and which one is receiving? Okay. So what is the first thing you're gonna say?
Are you ready to rock? What is it that you would like?
I want a house with 5 acres of land that we can actually afford.
And let's see, if you want a house with 5 acres and you can afford it, how does that make you feel when you're living at that house with 5 acres that is affordable?
She didn't do that.
It helps, trust me.
It helps.
This is technique.
It makes me feel like I have finally landed. Like I want to belong. I have no roots. I don't belong anywhere. I want to
Grounded, maybe? Or
very much belonging, like settled. I've never been settled in my life. I want to be settled. I want to feel home. I want to feel at home. I've never been home.
Is there a sense of maybe ease when you're living at this load?
No, you're just gonna repeat her words
Okay.
back to her, okay?
I'm gonna repeat your words back. You would like to be landed, belong, be settled,
will those things give her?
So when you're landed in a place that you belong, where you're settled, that is your home, how does that make you feel?
Has a lot to do with feeling safe.
That's it, that's it.
Okay. That's a good one. That's not real.
But did you see how hard that was for her
Yeah.
to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ask her if you can treat for her safety.
Can I treat for your safety?
You sure?
All right. Can I hold your hands?
So you gotta scooch up, especially being a big guy like you, you always have to.
Okay. I tend to be not very flowery.
Don't be flowery.
So what I know is that God is everything that there is, and I know that I am within that as God in this reality that we experience. And I know for you, that you are safe in a home that makes you feel settled, in a place where you feel that you belong, you know that you belong, where you've landed in this place you call home, with a significant amount of acres and a feeling of freedom and safety. For this, I'm grateful. As I release these words into the one law, knowing that they occur in every now moment, and so it is.
So it is. Then you ask her.
Did that work for you?
Yes, it did. I actually didn't realize the safety thing until,
Yeah. The thought part is helpful.
yeah.
They always get one of the same 10 words out of you.
Yeah.
That's it, that's good. All right, can we have a hug?
So what did you just learn from those two treatments?
The first one was better.
I also heard you in the third step, and I thought you said don't do that.
Yeah, know you. As soon as you said you, I know for you, you're talking to her. That's why I said I know about. I know about Hella. And don't be afraid to ask someone their name. What's your name? But you married me. I know, but what's your name? Dan.
So I'm confused as usual. So I had written down that step 3 so the affirmation, the realization, is them.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the person I'm talking to, right? The
No,
you.
it's about them.
It's about him.
It's about them. When you're talking, when you say you, you're talking directly to Hella, personality to personality. No, you are treating within your own self about Hella. And so I like to say I speak my word for and about Hella. I speak my word for and about Dan. It's inside of me. They could be here, they could be nowhere. I'm gonna know about them inside of me. The practitioner always treats the practitioner. And as you know about them, then because there's only one, and we are all individualized points of awareness of spirit, we're really all the same mind. What I know in mind at my point is known in mind everywhere, and so it is also known in mind at the point of Hella, and it demonstrates in her life. It all goes back to this idea of oneness, that if there's oneness, if there truly is only one, then I can think a thought for Terry, and Terry gets the result of that. That's why it becomes very important that you start to monitor your thoughts and do not allow yourself to indulge in criticism or ill will of someone, because those are very powerful thoughts that do demonstrate. And if you are thinking something and it's demonstrating in their world, where else is it also demonstrating? In your world, in my world. And so if I think ill about somebody else, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. So we develop, the more we realize the power of our word, the more careful we are at how we direct it and how we use it. So you can, but you're gonna pay the price for it if you just rip somebody up and down one side or the other, then that's what goes around comes around. That's gonna be experienced at the point of view, and it impacts them. It's like the children. If you look at a child and say, you're perfect, whole, and complete, you're wonderful, you're smart, you're creative, you're lovable, I just am so grateful for you, that's what they will be. And if you look at them and say, you're a terrible burden, and you're stupid, and you're awful, and I wish you weren't here, you're just a bad kid, then that's what they will be. People react very similarly to how we think about them. So it becomes incumbent upon us to be very careful about what we allow ourselves to think about other people in our world. Breezy,
How do you reference a group as opposed to an individual?
what are you talking about?
Like when I just did the treatment, it was for everybody in the class?
Oh, everybody in the class.
Okay.
Everybody in the class, everybody in the room, everybody in the sound of my voice.
But not you guys.
Robin and then Jane.
Yeah, I have a question about, like, if you were to be thinking negatively about somebody, I mean, my mom used to always get so paranoid that people were thinking bad about her, and that's why she was manifesting this thing. And so it doesn't always go. I mean, somebody could be thinking you're a rotten person, but unless you,
Oh, people think poorly of me often.
yeah, so it doesn't just happen.
Tough.
Yeah.
Off.
You have to be receptive to that somehow,
Right,
right?
because your mom said, and because they are thinking that about me then, that's why this is happening. So she was giving her power all the way.
Right.
It does have an impact. I know when people are upset with me. I can look around on Sunday morning and tell you who's mad at me.
People get mad at you on
People
Sunday?
often get mad at me.
Are you sure you're not projecting?
Pardon me?
Are you sure you're not projecting?
Oh, no, I know. No. Jane,
So therefore, on step 3, if Dan says, I know, for Hella, that she's got a house and that she loves it and it's safe and everything and it makes her feel good or whatever. That's what you do for step 3, and then you switch back to your.
yes, yes, exactly,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah, Alice?
I had a recent experience about someone that did something that I presumed, well, I knew it wasn't done on purpose. I knew it was just done because of the need they had at the time. But it was like, I was hurt by it.
Mm-hmm. Your choice.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice.
Mm-hmm.
Can I treat, is there a way to treat for something like that?
Sure, you treat that you're confident in yourself, that you know yourself. My favorite affirmation, one of them, is I am surrounded by people who love and support me. And people will leave my life over that. Because they're not loving and supporting me. They can come back when they want to love me and support me. I'm not a target. I'm not going to put myself in someone else's fire. Ernest said in the textbook, nothing is real unless you make it real. Nothing can hurt you unless you allow it to hurt you. Refuse to have the feelings hurt. Refuse to receive anyone's criticism or condemnation. In the independence of your own mentality, know that you are wonderful.
So we don't need to actually treat for it.
I like to treat for everything. I would treat that right here and right now, I know who I am. I am the infinite presence of spirit. I am powerful. I am clear. I am surrounded by love and support. My way is made clear. I am strong and confident. I am, well, that's a denial. I was gonna say, I'm unshakable, but I'm solid and strong in who I am. And I put that energy out before me and everything falls into place and I bring it with me and I leave some of it behind. They know when Barbara Waterhouse has been here. I'll treat myself. Treat yourself. And then,
You do the release and.
oh yeah, I do the whole treatment.
Steps.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's a section that I was gonna read or I was gonna quote yesterday about joy, and Ernest says you can't be something about if you're going to be in joy, you must dry your tears.
So cheers to joy.
Well, no, they were not tears of joy. You must dry your tears, meaning you've got to stop sniveling and crying and reacting and being on that lower level of, oh, ain't it awful, if you're gonna be in joy, if you're gonna rise up into joy. And sometimes you just gotta pick yourself up and give yourself a good shake and say, stop it. Nobody can hurt me. No, I don't care. Terry Cole Whitaker wrote a great book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. Yeah, what you think of me is none of my business. What business is mine? What I think of me. What I think of me is my business and my only business. So if I think I'm doing the right thing and people say, oh no, Barbara, you're doing the wrong thing. And then I say, well, I'm gonna sacrifice my own intuition and wisdom to get their approval that they'll think I'm doing the right thing by doing what they want me to do. I am screwed. Just screwed. I have to do what I think is right. And if that means, running around the parking lot doing cartwheels because it's a sunny day, I get to do that, even if people laugh at me. Boy, when we first opened up here, we would have people leave messages on our answer machine about how personally John or I are leading all of you into hell. And how we're all gonna burn and it's all my fault, my personal fault, And boy, when we were out in Fairview, there were times when I would have visions of crosses being burned on our parking lot. And I would go out to make sure there was nobody out there. There was such, the day we opened up in Fairview, the very first day we went from our home to the modified trailer, a neighbor called and said they were gonna stand in our driveway with a shotgun. Oh, yeah. I mean, so this isn't fantasy stuff. This is real stuff. People will target you. Don't care. Just don't care. No. We have alarm systems and the police are
It's the most exhilarating feeling is not caring, to be free and to just celebrate yourself for oneself that way.
Yes.
It's really a kick up your heels.
It is. We used to have a board member that would say, I care, just not that much. And so why not just take it to, I don't care. Will you do this? No. Will you treat for me? I don't know. What did I say to you? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm not committing myself here. Class is about to start. You're catching me on the fly, so I don't know if I will or not. It's better to just put it out there. Oh, Barbara, you're not nice. I am not nice. I don't want to be nice. I want to be clear. And if I'm clear, nothing can stop me because I'm clear about who I am. I'm clear about the power that I have. I'm clear about my ability to manifest. I'm clear about the miracles that are here for the taking. I'm clear about that. People come to me when they are diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses because of my clarity, not because I'm nice. And so I hold clarity as the highest value I have. And if I can look at something and go, this is not true, this is not happening, it's not happening on my watch, it's not happening, period, I am going to claim and create the reality that I want. If I can do that, I can do anything. And I can't do it if I'm busy worrying about what people think of me or having my feelings hurt. What was it Tony Robbins used to say? Don't say you got your feelings hurt. Say you're doing hurt feelings. I'm doing hurt feelings right now. Don't say you're angry, say you're doing anger. I'm doing some anger right now. Go ahead and allow yourself to own your emotions. I'm doing this. I'm feeling so insecure right now, I've forgotten who I am, that I give a rip about what this other person thinks of me, and I've let it get under my skin and just let me get triggered into a helpless, hopeless, victimized mentality. I'm doing that. And the ability to do that with the amount of power you wield and living in a universe of love and joy is an amazing feat. It's like your ability to stay broke in a universe of prosperity. It takes great power to do that. Because all you have to do is let your guard down a little bit and the universe is going to flow money into where you don't know what to do. Robin.
Yeah, I took a parenting class way back when, and they were saying that it's so important that you don't overpraise your kid and say, oh, you're good, like you're God, and you're saying, oh, you're good because da 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 da. Instead, you'll say, it seems like you feel good about that, or you put it back on them, it looks like you're enjoying that, And I think it's nice you're enjoying yourself or whatever.
It's empowering their ability to own their emotions.
Yeah, cause my mom was like overly, or my dad too, like praise. But what that gets is that later on, when somebody comes around and they're not praising you, you think there's something wrong with you, cause you're not used to.
And we have an entire generation that everybody got a trophy, and some of those kids are having a real hard time with the
Yeah.
world as we know it. I think there's amazing creativity that's gonna come and change a lot of structures that we have in our society, but emotionally, a lot of the millenniums are having trouble because they did skate through a lot of things without having to own where they are. So it's a whole generation of people who are having a whole different experience. I'm not sure it's any better or worse than kids at age 6 who had to go do a paper route. I'm not sure that was such a good idea either, you know, but the ability to own your own thoughts and feelings and demonstrations and to know that you can create your life any way you want, there's great power with that, but there's also a need for discipline. There's a need for perseverance with that. I mean, has anybody ever had a thought and then you lost it? Really? I just was a little embarrassed this afternoon when John called me and said that the cameras are all screwed up and the guys took their $30,000 and left, and I did a spiritual mind treatment. I came over here, I did a spiritual mind treatment with John, and then I freaked out for 10 minutes. So, this is what we do. We get clear, and then we lose it, and then we get clear, and then we lose it. And truth be known, everything's gonna work out perfectly, and we're gonna have great camera systems, but in the middle of it, don't be too surprised if you don't own every last emotion that is there. And the faster you can catch it and bring it back to center and clarity, the better off you and frankly everyone around you will be. Stephen and
So I should have treated for you just earlier today then.
you what?
So I should have treated for you earlier today when you were freaking out.
I'd already done 2 really good treatments. You know, they weren't lost, I was just freaking out.
That makes me think of something. Can you really, is it kosher to like treat for somebody unless they ask you?
No,
I didn't think so.
some people spend decades creating their problem. And because your thought can impact them. Now, if they are not going to be impacted, you can't. But most people don't have that level of awareness. They're just wide open, floating around in life, bouncing around from thing to thing, and you can affect their outcomes. You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to treat for the person who's standing on the side of the road with the sign up. You don't have the right to treat for someone in an accident that you've gone by. Now, you can always treat for certain things. We're right in the path of Mama. Mama goes over us 6, 8, 10 times a day. And I always stop and know that whoever is in that helicopter has whatever it is they need to do whatever they choose to do. That if they need the exact specialist at mission when they land, they've got it. And if they need the grandmother or the angel to carry them over to the other side, they've got that. It's not really my business what they do with it. They just have whatever they need.
So
I
you
do the
kind
same.
of treat generally, like if you were passing an accident, can you just?
I just know that everybody there is in
Generally.
the light and they have everything that they need. I do not know that they live. It's none of my business.
Yeah. You're not treating for an outcome.
Not treating for an outcome. The only person I want to treat for an outcome for is me. I don't even want to treat for an outcome for you. I want to treat for the qualities of life that you want. I want to treat for your safety. I want to treat for your joy. That's what I want to treat for you for. And then all of the forms will come into alignment, in alignment with the safety and the joy. But there are a lot of people that, you know, you ask them for a treatment, they'll just treat for whatever you want. Jane.
So therefore, what you're saying that, or what I can understand, is that, somebody comes and wants treatment and you kind of create, you offer them a reality. Is that it?
Sure. You create the reality and the two of you step into it.
And then that's their choice whether they come and step.
Well, they wouldn't have come to you for a treatment if it wasn't their choice. I figure anybody in my consciousness is there because they want to be there.
Yeah, well, so therefore, that, the reality that you create for them, really needs to have something to do with their own position.
That's why you talk to them and ask
Yeah,
them.
that's exactly.
Yeah,
right.
that's why you're
Yeah.
doing the crosstalk.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
good. Alice?
I have a question about the difference between praying and treatment.
Mhm.
For us, it's the same. We consider, at least I thought, in Science of Mind, we consider treatment the same as praying.
Some people do. I don't. I don't like the word prayer.
Okay.
I use spiritual mind treatment. We don't,
There are people that I know
I know there are people.
that might take aversion to treatment.
Oh, but if I'm talking to someone who's not of this mindset, I will transfer the language.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
okay?
Of
Because
course it
there are
is.
people sometimes, if you say, can I do a spiritual mind treatment, what are you talking about? You
Right,
know?
right. And why would you wanna
Right.
create that division?
Right.
What you wanna do is bring them closer.
Exactly.
Is it okay with you if I pray for you? I have asked people if I could do treatment work for them who are members of this center, and they've said no. I don't even think they knew what was coming out of their mouth. I've had times when I've spent, like half an hour or an hour with someone, and it's coming to the end, well, can I treat for you? No. So, okay, I don't push it. That was their unconscious speaking directly to me, saying, leave me with my problem, I'm not done with it. So I have to honor that, but to language things so that you can be closer instead of farther away. When I'm talking to builders or the city or whatever, this is a fellowship hall. And we have a Sunday school, and we have a church service, so that they know what the heck I'm talking about. Well, the celebration of life and the social hall and the kids club, they don't know what I'm talking about. So I would much rather not need to be right in that way and be close and have communication.
Got clarity.
That clarity, really. Tiana, you have your hand up?
Okay, so I when I started coming, I learned kind of that I cannot, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna fix my teenagers. And I learned earlier, I can't treat for them.
You can ask them.
Okay, and so that's what I was getting at. So if I say hey, can I pray for you? And my 15-year-old, he's like, yeah.
Then that's
That's
carte
enough?
blanche for the rest of his life. Yes, carte blanche for the rest of his life. That's enough.
Okay.
Treat your kids
This whole
as your
time, I'm like, does
kids.
he even know or not?
It doesn't matter, at a soul level, he knows exactly what you're talking about.
Awesome.
If
God.
you need someone to give you permission to treat your kids, I so give it. Don't need less. Drop it.
And then there's also the challenge to not feel personally responsible too, to not think, okay, if this person doesn't get what they're looking for.
But if this person doesn't get it, you haven't done a treatment. The reason you don't feel personally responsible for it is because you know that it's already done. You never go to, well, what if this doesn't happen? If you've gone to, what if this doesn't happen, that's a treatment. And you just treated it not to happen. It's done. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what people tell me. People come up to me and say, this hasn't happened yet. And I go, yes, it has. And they just look at me. They don't know what to do with that. Yes, it has. Don't confuse me with the facts. I know truth. This is already demonstrated. Because when I treat, my treatments demonstrate. Truth known demonstrates instantly, taking only so long as to form in time and space. But it's demonstrated. Don't get caught up in the illusion. Well, it didn't come in the mail. So what? Maybe it'll come down in a little parachute. Who cares? David.
The examples we saw here tonight of the two treatments, it seems for it to be really effective, the practitioner has to get down to the core need or the core value and then address that.
As
you
much
get
as is
down to
possible.
what's possible,
As
right?
much as is possible. Now, sometimes you may have someone who says, treat for me for a house with 5 acres. Well, what is that gonna make? No, I just want the house with 5 acres. Well, no, I just want the house with 5 acres. So treat the house with 5 acres. Now, it may come with a terrible marriage, or may come with bears in the yard, or something like that, I don't know. Or maybe a wonderful demonstration of a house with 5 acres, and it's got a fence and family and wonderful vibes to it. but as much as is possible for me, I try to get down to what does that mean. Do you do that, Carrie?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Spacing up here, but yes.
Because when you can get down to freedom and safety and joy, then you're going to demonstrate more than a house, more than healed kidneys. You're gonna demonstrate all kinds of conditions that have freedom and safety and joy in them, instead of just one. I'm always about the bigger picture. Yeah. Any other questions? Rob?
Have you ever run across somebody who appears to be like in denial about something that they're going through? I get confused.
I have met some people who are in denial, yes.
Because I kind of like, part of me wants them to admit there's.
My question is, why do you care?
Oh, I don't know, sometimes it's somebody that you live with, you know.
Doesn't matter,
And,
doesn't matter, don't care.
or even what if it's you, what if you,
Oh, I care
you're
deeply
sort
about
of
me.
in denial that there's even a problem.
If I'm in denial,
Do you
then
have to like
I will work to.
admit that there is
Yeah.
a problem
Sure.
and then work it out, or
Sure.
sometimes, or is it denial a good thing, like, oh, you know, my car isn't, you know, burning right now, you know? I mean, you know, I know that it's perfect, you know, sometimes I'm just a little fuzzy there.
Well, if you are denying a condition that you don't want, it's good to deny it. If you're talking about emotional denial, psychological denial, when there is some kind of awareness that would serve you, if you allowed it to come up into conscious awareness, then psychologically, it would be helpful for you to be honest with yourself about what's going on.
Yeah.
Like if you're saying, I sabotage this, you know, I get my business going and it gets to a certain point and then I sabotage it, or a relationship, we get to a certain level of intimacy and then I sabotage it, that kind of thing. I wanna look at what's going on with me so that I can choose whether to sabotage it or not. Try to keep the judgment off, oh, I'm a terrible person, I sabotage it. No, I wanna be conscious of what I'm doing and do it consciously. So then you look at, what is it that happened before I sabotaged it? Well, I was feeling very vulnerable, my business was being very successful, and I could see that I was gonna move into that realm of prosperity and success, and I know deep down inside that's not who I am. I'm not a prosperous, successful person, I'm a bad person, so I can't let that happen. You wanna look at that and go, what is it about being bad? What is it about being good? Because now you're dealing with words that are being spoken by young children inside of you in psychodrama. So you're not a bad person. What is that? Oh, well, they told me that if I did that, then terrible things would happen. You know, I would be beaten, or the family would fall apart, or somebody would die, something like that. And then you can work with yourself to say, no, I'm safe, I'm wonderful, I'm loved, all is well. You can work with yourself with that. So I've been in therapy on both sides of the couch for decades. So bring it all up, bring it out into the light of day. Who was it that said you're only as sick as your secrets?
Bill Wilson.
Well, I think someone said it before him, but we'll give it to Bill.
My
You're only as sick
sponsor
as your
said it.
secrets, and those are secrets you keep from yourself. If we are clear that we are radiant beings of love and light, perfect, whole, and complete in every way, what in the world do we have to hide? There's nothing inside of us to hide. Nothing that we have ever done is bad or wrong. We haven't made any mistakes. We're on our path. That's all that it is. We've never hurt anyone. No one's hurt us. We've never taken anything away from anyone. No one's taken anything away from us. We are radiant beings of light and love along our path. Everything's fine.
I can think of, I'm just now remembering the issue that I was dealing with somebody. It was about the planet, really, about
Planet's fine.
the thing that's going on, yeah. And, but, you know, some people say, oh, the planet's fine, while they're like pouring crap
Doesn't matter.
in the sink and.
Planet's fine. I mean, the planet may choose to get rid of us, but the planet's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to
Yeah,
like,
but,
okay,
yeah,
well,
but
what
Reverend Ike said,
what
get
can
your
I do?
butt out of the way.
But
We're looking for problems, Robin. You're talking about somebody else
Uh-huh.
and what they're doing.
Well, even if it's just me,
Well,
you know.
then, if it's important to you to not pour things down the sink, don't do it. We compost here.
Mhm.
You know, we compost like crazy to keep stuff out of the landfill because that's important to us. I don't think that it's terrible every time we throw something away. They're gonna figure out how to mine the landfills and make money, and we will not have landfills anymore. There will come a time when we will learn how to get all of the plastic out of the oceans. And they will be
Yeah.
clean and pure. Look at what happened in, northern Japan with Masato Emoto, who did the Hidden Mystery of Water. And they went around the dirtiest lake in Japan. It stunk, everything was dead in it. They did one Buddhist blessing, and they went home, and 30 days later, the paper was reporting that there were fish in it, that the water was clean, that everything had cleared up. You know, it's important in this teaching to really get that we are creating our experience. We are creating what we call pollution. We are creating what we call bad things in the world. We're creating that. And we can change that in a heartbeat and reorder the molecules of existence and to create something brand new. Hold on, Jane. I'm looking forward to the point when we have evolved so much as a species that our collective past has shifted, and that the vibration of war and famine and suffering no longer is here, and so our history has changed. We can create anything. The important thing is not to get caught up in this idea that because I see it, it's real. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's real. That kind of denial for me is very valuable. We're gonna go ahead and take a break.
Yay. That was awesome.
Then you're going to get your treatment partner, and you're going to use the pages on your book to do your 5 steps.
Partner.
You're gonna do cross. And
Pony.
see the treatment. Good. What did you learn?
I can have a pony.
Yes, you can.
Or I could have, the way a pony makes me feel.
There you go. You can have both, actually. What else? What did you learn?
And I need a lot of practice.
Yes, we all need a lot of practice. And that's why we treat. That's why you've got the handouts to write down treatments. I've given you extras and all of that. You will be writing a treatment this week for your partner. For the partner that you just did, you're gonna write it out, make 2 copies, and bring one and hand it to them. Okay?
Is that what this is that you gave us?
No. Mine is the one that says my treatment is. You've got a bunch of them. They're all scattered through the curriculum.
Yeah, there's.
What I did give you was your self-talk inventory. It did not print in the original handouts because it is landscape instead of portrait. And because of that, it didn't come through. So I made copies for you tonight. And what you're going to do is write on this every day. You've got Monday, what am I saying to myself? Under what circumstances do I most talk to myself? Do I talk to myself when I'm eating, when I'm driving, when I'm alone? At what time of the day do I notice my self-talk? And how often do I notice positive self-talk? How often do I notice negative self-talk? You're gonna fill this out every day. Every day, every day. If you wanna make notes on the back, if you wanna get additional paper, you can do that. But we want to start becoming mindful of the way that we talk to ourselves and what we talk about. Like, that'll never happen. You can't do that. You really shouldn't even try. Or, wow, that's a fantastic idea, and of course we're gonna do this. Of course everything's gonna work out, yay! We wanna notice what we're saying to ourselves, okay? So you're gonna do that. Any comments on your experience of treatment? Did you get the treatment that you asked for?
Yes.
Pretty much, good. And those of you who gave the treatment, did you feel good about what you said or how you felt during that treatment? David?
In my case, giving the treatment to Jane, I was able to get in what she was asking for. I got in touch with the feelings in my life that was similar, and I could delve into those emotions and hopefully convey them to her. So
Good,
past life experience.
good, good. Tiana?
So like I've been, doing treatment for myself, and what I noticed with like doing it with my partner is that like, so when I do it for myself, I just kind of like, I don't put as much feeling behind it, cause I don't have to please me, or I don't know, maybe that's not even it, but it's just that like, it made me kind of expand outside of my, usual verbiage and into something like a little bit more, heartfelt instead of like, where I didn't, like I knew what I meant because I was speaking for myself when I was treating myself.
Do you get, when you're treating for yourself, to a place where you know that it's so?
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't care what you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Breezy.
I just wanna clarify in regards to the follow-up. So we should be doing these treatments for our partners at home,
At home every day, and write them out.
and we need to, on those papers, is that what you?
Yeah, on those papers.
Oh, I thought you said that was for ours, so this is for treatments for other people.
Your homework for this coming week says write a treatment for your class party.
Okay.
So write that treatment
And it says,
and make a copy.
assuming it's probably in the
Steven,
bag.
I felt
Somebody
like my
give her
heart
one.
was in front of my head.
what?
My heart was faster than my head, so I could feel it in my heart and faster than I could come up with the words.
That's okay, that's okay. This is all about practice. Practice, practice, practice. Your homework for next week is on page 22. It says assignment for class 3. That's before you get into class 3. Read the study guide, read Science of Mind text, page 237 to 346. If you didn't read your reading for tonight, read that one too. Write a spiritual mind treatment for a fellow student. Pick the student that you did treatment work for tonight. Bring 2 copies, one to turn in and one to give to the student treated for. You don't have to turn them in. If you want me to look at them and give you some feedback, you can turn them in. But I don't want to put you in a position where you're not going to come back to class because you've got to turn in a written treatment. I don't want to traumatize you. If you want a little feedback, you can give me one of those copies. And then meditate. How are you doing on your meditation? Pretty good. I tell you, I am becoming the 3 a.m. master. I was looking in the book of Creative Thought magazines that David Mark brought, and I found May 1979, when I was living in Eugene, Oregon, at the Eugene Church of Religious Science, and this one is from my teacher, Bill Tolliver. God creates by means of me. I am the instrument through which divine intelligence expresses. I am the action of God made manifest. I am a self-conscious point of awareness within the mind of God. My thought is creative. Whatever I believe true in my life, God says yes. Every prayer I ever said has been answered by my belief that it will be. Every prayer I will ever say is answered. God never says no, nor do I allow myself to say no to God. I accept the good that life offers through me. I claim the abundance and good that life offers through me. I claim all of my good right now, letting it unfold. I say yes to the infinite, creating by means of me. I see clearly how truly beautiful my life is. I accept the challenge of being a co-creator of peace, power, beauty, joy, love, light, and wisdom. God creates by means of me. I am the channel through which all good flows. I am truly grateful for being this means through which God creates. And so it is.
So it is.
Your teacher wrote that?
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
I was doing the Saturday market in Eugene at that
Were
time.
you with the Flying Karamazov brothers?
I just remember the potatoes that somebody would cook there all the time, are really good smelling, like.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments before we close? Take out what you're gonna give. Those of you watching online, you too can be a part of supporting this worldwide teaching of Science of Mind principles by going to the Blue P at the top of your YouTube channel. Click it on and it will take you to our PayPal account. It accepts any currencies and any amounts. For whatever you give, the entire world is grateful. So what I know is that there is one power, one presence. It is infinite, it is abundant, it is prosperous, it is successful. And I know that out of that oneness, each of us was created. So I know that I am made of the abundance and prosperity and success and love and joy and health and wholeness of God itself. It is what I am, and I speak my word now, calling forth all of creation into form by means of this word. I speak my word for and about everyone in this room, and within the sound of my voice, I claim for us our God-given right to live a blessed life, to be prosperous beyond our wildest dreams, to have bodies filled with health and energy and wholeness, to succeed at everything we focus upon, and to be loved. I know that this is the truth of us, right here and right now. And with great gratitude and thanksgiving for being able to live this amazing life, I release this treatment into the mind of God, the body of God, and the heart of God, because I know it's all God. As together we say, and so it is. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. More and more, greater amounts of good, greater amounts of joy, greater amounts of success, because the infinite is ever expanding. And I know that that sense of greater than is the essence of who we are, and so we allow it to show up in every area of our lives, knowing that we are blessed with every breath that we take, with every word that we say, and with every action that we make. And I know that everything in these baskets is blessed. That every time we give anything, that which we are goes with our gift. And who are we but God in form as us? I know that as we gave this gift, this amazing energy flowed through each and every one of us, filling up this room, from the floor to the ceiling and all between the walls. This air is rich and blessed with God as us. And I know that as Spirit moves in our lives, things happen. So right here and right now, each of us is touched, each of us is blessed, and each of us is healed. And I know that energy can't be locked in a room no matter how great. So it's got to go on out and to circle this world and to touch and bless and heal every being on this planet. Always here, always now, blessing every one of us here tonight, everyone who has ever been here, and everyone yet to come. And so it is. I love you guys. Have a wonderful